could be anything.
Now, I'm curious about this one, because it's called Frankenstein Conquers the World.
As he should. I still need to watch the Netflix adaptation. Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, I need to have Netflix again to...
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Pointless Discourse with myself, Hoppocalypse, and Itisdpayne.
Hello. Monster.
Maybe monster, maybe not monster.
Maybe
Just a
not
creature.
Monster. Giant baby. Oh man, I just realized what I should have watched.
So if you guys haven't guessed from the title, this week's prompt was watch a movie with a giant creature in it. So what movie did you just realize you could have picked instead?
Alright, so have you watched Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, or have heard of it?
I probably have watched clips throughout the years, but I don't know if I've ever sat down and actually watched it.
Alright, so there's a sequel to it. I want to make sure I get the title correct. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids sequel.
Is it like the opposite? Like Honey, I Made the Baby Big?
Yeah, it's literally that, pretty much. It is Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. And
That
pretty
sounds
much...
much worse.
Yes. And pretty much in that I'm trying to remember, they're like running away and they're like trying to get like the government or somebody's trying to get the machine, and he pretty much makes a reverse version, and something goes and he makes his toddler a giant. And so it is their toddler that is just constantly, like, because I think first it's they make the toddler like a giant, pretty much. I think maybe like 9 feet tall or something like that, and it's just this huge toddler just kind of like sitting in their house and just like, okay, we can fix this. And then as they go to do that, like the toddler keeps growing and it becomes kaiju level of things, and to the point where it's like the Air Force comes in, is trying to shoot the child, and it's like it doesn't do damage because you can't hurt kaiju with stuff. And yeah, it's like it says here, like, now over 100 feet tall.
Oh yeah,
he's
that is
running
definitely big creature.
Yeah, and as he's running through Las Vegas, I was like, oh man, I wish I remembered that.
Funny that you didn't remember it when last week, didn't you watch the same actor but instead in a musical form?
Yeah.
Or is he not in the sequel?
No, he is in the sequel.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just, I don't know, whatever we said right there, it just triggered that. Because it's one of those movies that I remember watching once when I was younger, but I was also watching it because I'm sick and I'm at home.
So it's that delirium where you're like, did I actually see that, or was it the fever?
And like I only remember like bits and bobs of it. So, but it wouldn't fit the criteria because technically I did watch it, and
that's just the personal criteria.
I know, and I'm trying my best. It's like there's two criteria. One, I never seen it before, and two, I don't want to spend money.
As much as possible. Yeah, I've been going to my library as much as possible. Like, I know if anyone listened to the musical episode last week, I had plans to watch a different musical, but the library said it had it, but they couldn't find it on their shelves, and I hope that I didn't give them a massive headache trying to figure out their inventory to find out where this missing DVD went. But I ended up watching a different movie because, heck yeah, libraries.
Yep.
Oh, it would have been nice if I was more of a human being on our usual recording day, so I could have gone to the library today to have a movie. But I did pick up an extra DVD when I picked up last week's movie. Strider has been talking a lot about wanting to watch Tombstone with me. And while we were looking at
that's on my list.
Yeah, we were looking at the shelves, and I was like, oh, my boyfriend wants to watch this, and I just grabbed it. They're like, oh, neat. And I was like, it does feel weird that I'm just like, thanks for the DVD. I get to just walk away with it. But
yeah.
No, that's fun. So, yeah, this is Giant Creature Week. And not to be confused where we'll have another week in the year sometime in the future for Kaiju Week. Because isn't that another one of your prompts? Oh no, you have monster movie
Monster,
non-kaiju.
not kaiju. And this one, it could have been a kaiju. It just needed to have a giant creature.
Yeah, I will say my movie had more than one. But
Same here.
I was watching the movie and I was like, I think this qualifies. Like, and then I just settled into watching the movie. But is the one that you picked one that's been on your watch list for a while?
It's been on my watch list for a little while, and it's one because I remember I was editing last week's episode this week, and I was checking something, and I was just like, oh, okay. And like I remember, I was like, oh, does this fit? It doesn't. And I'm like, by the wording, yes. And after a while, like I do think it fits. And yeah, I'll save the rest for when we talk about it. But
yeah, I would say the one that I picked wasn't necessarily on like an immediate watch list. Like it wasn't like something I immediately thought of. But I think I did it at the end of our last call where I was going through a ranker list and I was like scrolling. I was like, we've seen a lot of these. Like there were a lot of recommendations for The Host. I was like, yeah, it is a fun movie, but we just watched it.
yeah.
And I settled on one that is one of those names that I was like, oh, I see this in passing all the time. I just haven't gotten around to watching it. So it is fun to have these as challenges where you're like, oh, right, that is a movie I told myself I'd watch one day, and now today's the day.
Let's see. I went to ranker.com, the best giant monster movies of all time, and I'm going to see if I can find. Oh man, there is one that I know that we talked about literally doing a series for the podcast, but I don't know if you watched it.
I've watched Tremors.
Okay.
I've watched the first. Did I watch the second one? I know there's one of them where they start to be able to fly. And I don't think I watched that one. That might be, is that 3?
I don't know. I haven't watched any of them.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to watch them, but I think it's one of those things where I'm like, when we did Gravity Falls, like if we do Tremors, I think, like not that I'm holding out to only watch this, like to watch that movie, like in case we do it for the podcast. But it just hasn't come up. But I'm like, yeah, if we do it, it would be nice to have someone that's never watched it with someone who has. Okay. Where I kind of wish that's how our Gravity Falls series went, but it didn't. But it's all good.
Now we know for the future.
Yeah. I'm just scrolling through, and there's a lot of Godzilla movies.
Yeah, and I guess that's why I thought it wouldn't be a big spoiler. I also said to Itisdpayne before we started recording that I made sure to not be tired when I watched my movie because I wanted to watch it with subtitles in a different language. And I figured it wouldn't be a big spoiler because of how many Godzilla movies there are that you'd be like, oh, it could be anything.
Now, I'm curious about this one because it's called Frankenstein Conquers the World.
As he should. I still need to watch the Netflix adaptation. Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, I need to have Netflix again to watch it.
Yeah, because that movie wasn't out yet when we were doing our Guillermo del Toro watch through. But even then, I think it would have been a tight squeeze because I think the movies we picked were a good like range of his stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there's definitely... hey, there's always the possibility of it coming back with one of the topics we have on here.
This is true. And also, I guess I would say, so at the time of recording, Itisdpayne and I are preparing for the East Coast big snow. I know a lot of America is going to be in a lot of cold and a lot of freezing. So if you want to feel really cold and a little scared, you can watch Crimson Peak while it's really cold outside and possibly snowy. Because we did
The Thing.
The Thing is also valid. One of the horror book club questions we had, I showed up a little late. They're like, what's your winter like horror movie to watch? And I sat there, I was like, I had a lot of fun watching Black Christmas. And someone was like, which edition? I was like, the 60s, 70s one. Is there another one? They went, good answer.
Yeah, there is. They remade it,
was it in like the aughts?
A couple of years ago. Yeah, it was... Yeah, it was sometime like
2010s, 2020s.
It's something around there. I want to say there. I don't know why, but like 2015-ish is sticking out of my head.
There were a lot of remakes of slashers. Like, I think that's when...
2026. Oh, okay. There was a Black Christmas in 06, and then there was another one in 2019.
Why there's so many? I like the original a lot. Why did we make so many? But there was someone at the book club. Because I was late, I was frazzled. Somebody gave a really good answer, and I should have been able to contribute, but my brain wasn't there yet. It didn't catch up. Someone said they liked watching Santa Jaws for their Christmas horror movie. And I was like,
they are a friend that...
But I missed my opportunity because I didn't say anything, because I like walked in, sat down. She was like, "Yeah, Santa Jaws," and I was like, "What's the prompt?" Because I was the next person that was supposed to go.
Yeah.
Oh, and it wasn't until the meeting was halfway over, I was like, "Did they say Santa Jaws?" Like that. Like it's kind of like when you're in a lecture for class and the teacher's like, "And don't forget this for the test," and you're like, "What was I not supposed to forget for the test?"
There's a test.
Yeah, but. Yeah. So, are you ready to get into rolling dice? I don't have giant dice. Do you have giant dice? That would be really fun. Well, at one point, I had a giant wooden D6. I have a foam D20.
I got a big D20.
I know the D20 that I have is not... I don't think the numbers are right. Should I get it? Should I walk away for a second?
Why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me mute real quick.
I'll go through all the rules and all the other stuff as I realize I opened my budget sheet instead of the pointless discourse.
Well, if you want to just send me your credit card information. What? Okay.
No, it's... Trust me, I do more damage myself. So anyway, while Hop goes and gets that, we have a couple different things here where pretty much we roll dice. If you guys are watching the video, I'm holding up my giant D20, where we roll dice to find out who is going first. And then we have an assortment of rules here, and pretty much whoever loses a die roll adds a rule. So right now, the lowest is the winner. So whoever rolls the lowest number wins. The winner picks the die for... oh my goodness, there it is. The winner picks the die for the next roll, and the same die cannot be picked twice in a row. And so whoever loses this gets to add another rule.
We cannot possibly come up with 50 rules, but we will find
a
way.
Well, I don't think they're all going to be I think it's just going to have to... I just think it'd be fun to see how far we can keep this going.
That's fair. All right. I don't know if you commentated on it, but if you are a video watcher or on like YouTube, I forgot at one point that somebody had gifted me, for one reason or another, a foam D20, roughly almost the size of my head. So if you're listening audio only, use your imagination. But if I remember correctly, I was talking to somebody. I'm going to compare it against an actual D20 I have. Because I thought somebody told me they looked at the numbers and the way the numbers are laid out are not the same. That's really funny.
It's okay. This is just for funsy onesies.
Yeah, so like...
But if you win, we'll put an asterisk next to it. No.
This D20 that I have in my hand that I know is supposed to be like, for rolling and everything. Mm-hmm. Around the 20 is like... 4, 8, 14, 2, and 18. Like if you have the 20 facing me. On the foam one, it's 2, 3, 14, 6, and 17. Like none of the numbers are the same, like directly around it.
Wait, is mine correct? Let me see now.
The one in my right hand, like if the 20 is like right side up.
Oh, no, my numbers are off on my giant D20 as well.
So you agree my little D20 is the usual
What was yours on there?
The little?
Yeah.
So if the triangle for the 20-sided face is
if you're looking at the 20, yeah.
To the top left is 2, top right is 14 and bottom is 8.
Okay. You're using Dispel dice? So am I. Let's see. No, now I'm curious.
If other dice are...
Yeah. Because, this is the group I'm going to be playing with tonight. They would... No, that's the Chessex. Yeah, the cheapies are like that. Yeah, so what's yours on your giant die?
Top left is 3, top right is 2, and bottom is 14. So they're like, why is the 2 and 3 right next to each other?
Okay. Mine is to the left 16, to the right 19, and to the bottom 13.
Those are all the same number, essentially. You have all your high numbers all on one side.
Mine, I know what they did here, so I'm holding it up.
Oh, yours are 16, 17, 18, 19 right in a row.
Yeah, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then they just went around.
That's funny. Is yours like a plastic?
Yeah.
Okay.
You will be able to hear when I drop this bad boy.
Zoom said no, not for my ears.
Don't worry,
Only for audio listeners.
It is definitely on there because it's just like me talking to. So.
All right, so you explained the rules. We got the dice. Yep. You ready? I don't know how to roll this. Do I like throw mine in the air and like?
Well, you just cleaned behind you, so now you have plenty of place to roll.
Okay.
Only if you feel comfortable doing that. I don't have. I just gotta use desk. Okay, I'm rolling. Oh gosh.
Okay, I have my answer. You might be able to see it.
I can see 2 digits.
Yeah, it's a 2-digit number.
Don't worry, mine's also a 2-digit number.
I rolled a 14.
I rolled a 16.
Okay. Yours landed right on the tippy top that you showed me.
Put that back up there. Hey.
So, who makes the rule? The winner or the loser?
Winner picks the die.
Loser picks the rule. Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
Loser picks the rule. Yeah.
Okay.
So we do D20 here.
Oh yeah, it is Lois. It's my turn.
Yeah. So you win. I need to think of a rule.
I'll wait to pick my dice for next week. Or next
yeah, we've been doing it for the week of. Let's see. A fun rule. If you lose twice in a row, you roll with advantage.
Oh. Or disadvantage?
Oh, did I say win? I meant lose. Yeah, so if you lose twice in a row,
you get advantage.
You get advantage.
That's fun. That's fun.
That's nice. Well, I definitely misspelled advantage. I think I just need to get rid of this A. For people who don't know what advantage is, that means you roll the die twice and you take the better result. Mm-hmm. So,
we are
but what you call us?
All right. Let me know when you note the time, and then I'll start a yapping.
I was like, I had everything. Where'd it go? Oh gosh. Okay, hitting everything. So let's see. Yep. Okay. Go ahead.
All right. So, like I said, I wasn't sure if the movie I picked was perfect for the prompt, but once the movie started and opened up, I decided it would work.
It's too late.
I watched Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, which is a Ghibli film, I believe, released originally in Japan in 1984.
I don't know how to spell that, but
yeah.
I heard of it. I think I've only saw bits and parts of it.
It's definitely like one of those movies where you can tell it helped inspire and kind of solidify some of the types of storytelling that Miyazaki likes to do. It's one of those, like, I guess if I wanted to really play it down and explain what it is it reminds me a little bit of, what's it called? I had it in my head when I was watching it. Oh, it reminds me a little bit of Mickey 17, and I'll explain why. And a little bit of, another creature movie that we watched, which is funny because we watch a lot more movies now, so I can say, like, if you like this and this. Oh, Dark Crystal is the other one that it kind of reminds me of. So basically, the premise that you have is it opens with this woman on a glider, and she comes upon the husk of a very large insect. It looks like almost like the description on Wikipedia says it's trilobite-like, and I can definitely see it. I'll send you a picture, Dpayne, so you can get an idea. but it is I think they're called ohms in it. Yeah, he's a big guy. So this is like the exact still that she comes across in the beginning of the movie. And to give you perspective on the size of this large insect-like creature, she climbs on the back of it and goes, "Oh, the eyes are perfect to help us build armor." She cuts around the eye and is able to like take it off, and she can sit inside of it. Like the dome of it, she can sit inside of. So it's a very big creature relative to people, and I went, good enough for me. That's a giant creature.
It fits the prompt.
So basically, in this beginning, she finds a husk of one that's deceased, and she clearly is kind of more of a balanced type of character, where she's like, okay, he's lived his full life, he's deceased, now we can use this to make weapons to help make our lives easier as humans. And as the story goes on, you kind of learn that there are different villages that seem to be falling apart, and that the living versions of these bugs live in the jungles, but the jungle has become poisonous to people. So people don't live in the jungles, but they're able to still survive. But when people start to encroach too much on their jungles, then they become rage-filled and they will attack. But otherwise are docile.
Okay.
So a big crux of the movie is her kind of coming to terms with the planet not really being habitable by people anymore, and her trying to be that in-between where she's like, you don't have to hurt the bugs. We just need to figure out what we can do to be less shitty to the planet. And if we become less shitty to the planet, and it's supposed to be Earth, but 1,000 years after like a great fire destroyed and polluted everything. So she's like, if we can figure out how to make Earth better, we can live with them and not hurt them. And she lives in this small valley called the Valley of the Wind, hence the name of the movie. And she finds herself like, she has a very like comfortable way of life where she goes and she scouts. She's the princess of the village, and she like helps bring back resources. She's kind of like the Princess Diana, where everyone's like, I love you, you're the best, you're so charitable, you're so kind, you're charismatic, and you're young. That kind of like, she's very liked in her village.
Very different from Princess Mononoke. It was like, you're a demon.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
But it has a lot of the similar like feelings of it because it's like an environmentalist story in a lot of ways. But yeah, so she's very liked amongst her people, and they even admit that the reason that where they live is very comfortable for them is there's a wind that goes through their valley that keeps the poison from like settling there. Whereas there are other villages that were closer to the jungles, and the jungles ended up having poisonous spores that like you have to eliminate, because if they start to spore, it's like it just goes on and on and on, and it's impossible to get rid of. And then one night, because she's portrayed as a character who's very much a doer and not a sitter, so it's a pretty action-packed too. There's a like plane that looks like it's gonna crash land in her town, and during this, she ends up finding herself and her village of all the people that she loves and grew up with getting dragged into like essentially like a world war that nobody asked for, because they meet another princess, and she's very much the violence, destroy it, if I don't understand it, I hate it, and like burn it. She literally is like, we're gonna burn down the whole jungle, and everybody's like, no, that's a bad idea, and she's like, but I have the guns and the tanks and the weapons, so you have to listen to me. And then but what she has is this large, an even larger creature they call the warrior, and they said like, this is like the most evil thing people have ever built. It's supposed to destroy anything. It'll be under my command. By the way, I stole it from a different nation. So then that other nation is like, we want our stuff back. And she's like, I'll kill you. And this poor village of like people that were like farmers are just like, why are they fighting here? Nobody bothered us for like ever. And all of a sudden there's tanks, there's like planes, there's gunfire, and it turns into, you know, like it becomes a very big thing.
Mm-hmm.
All of this while the princess, the likable princess, is like, but animals? But these insects? But these bugs? We're trying to all be chill. So, but she basically tries to take it upon herself to manage like all these political issues along with the environmental issues. And also early on, you're told that there's a kind of like a myth, and that they all believe in, that one day the earth will be healed when this particular person comes. So we meet a lot of characters where their whole job is to try and scout to see if they can find the person that will heal the planet. So the reason, like I say, it reminds me a little bit of like Mickey 17, kind of like the way that these creatures act and are animated, because of like the shape of them kind of remind me of the furry guys in Mickey 17.
Yeah.
And they also have that kind of thing where they're really nice to her, really mean to everybody else. But in the same way that, like, there's even one scene that they talk about where they're, like, take them for hostage to try and piss them off. And I'm like, I don't know if necessarily, like, how much might have been inspired by this movie. Like, because Mickey 17 is also a book. I was like, I wonder how much is, like, is the book inspired by this movie? Vice versa? Or did Bong Joon-ho go, I would like to take some of Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind and then also insert it into my movie?
Yeah.
Because they felt like very similar themes. And then except there's no actual, like, there's no scientist who does a translator for them or anything like that. Instead, it's just, like, Nausicaa, what she does, she has kind of, like, I forget what they call it exactly, but they call it, like, charmers. And one of them, I think, is kind of sense, and the other one is a noise. And she'll use, like, a flash grenade to kind of force them to calm down. And then she'll talk to them in a soothing voice. And then she spins around this thing, and it kind of makes that, like, whooshing noise. And then she's like, all right, calm down, go back to the jungle. You don't have to fight people. It's like, it doesn't help. You can go back home. And the bugs will listen to her. They'll turn around. And they have other instances with little mascot characters where she's like, nice to meet you. And then they're best friends forever. Things like that. So she's...
Do they sing Country Roads?
Unfortunately, no. She has one thing. They call it a fox squirrel. It feels like a mascot character because I don't know that it... I think it did something for the plot at one point, and it's just like, he literally just sits on her shoulder for most of the movie. There's just one instance where he kind of pushed the plot forward. Let me try and think of what else. Oh yeah, and then I said it kind of reminds me of Dark Crystal, but in the terms of, like, it's got that weird, like, future planet discussion of things are sucking the resources out of the planet. And how do we fix it? And also the girl character in Dark Crystal also could talk to animals.
Yeah.
Was she a princess, or was she just the other last of the kind?
The last of the kind.
Yeah, but it has that kind of familiar feeling where she's like, work with me, not against me. But a lot of the landscape stuff that they do, I think, also remind me of Dark Crystal, where I think we both agreed a lot of the world in Dark Crystal was really interesting. So in Nausicaa, you have, like they said, they have these jungles that are supposed to be poisonous. There are different points where she ends up kind of in the root system, and she looks at the trees and talks about, like, some of the environmental stuff that she realizes. At different points, they're in kind of barren wastelands, because they said with whatever the fire was, all that was left was just desert upon desert, and people had struggled to find, like, a placehold to live in. And then she has her little valley where they can at least farm, and they have a river, and it's, like, pretty sustainable. So it's got a pretty, like, vivid imagination of what future Earth could be, or things like that. And amongst a lot of the moments that she's forced to be, like, in the jungle area, to which they wear special masks to deal with the poison, there's a lot of fun little different types of insect creatures. Most of them just look like bugs but bigger, but there was one that I thought was interesting. It kind of looked like a centipede, but the artist made it so skinny, so it kind of flew like a Chinese dragon does, where it doesn't have wings, but it was just very flat and kind of glided like a kite. So it has a lot of interesting creatures in it. Yeah. I can't think of much else to say without, like, full spoilers, because I feel like I did give, like, some important plot points, but
Yeah.
it's just, like, the way it comes together is really nice. I guess I can see why this one isn't the Ghibli studio movie that really took off, only because I think it's a little, how do I say? I guess what I would say is it's a little too clean in the way that I think everything comes together. I understand, like, if you like Spirited Away and Princess Mononoke and them, I think you'll still like this movie because you can see elements of them both. Yeah. But I think Spirited Away is a little bit deeper in terms of, like, tugging at the different things that can make you uncomfortable spiritually, because they have a lot of the Japanese yokai and everything and what they represent really well done in that movie. And then Mononoke is a little bit more uncomfortable because everything's gross. Like, yeah. The creatures, when they get overtaken, are very, like, visceral, things like that. So there is, like, just kind of hints of all of that in Nausicaa, but I feel like it does end up being much more fleshed out in those two movies, where Nausicaa almost feels like
it's sounds not like a prototype for what is going to come.
It's not exactly like a princess movie. I mean, she is a princess, but it does feel a little bit kind of like the Disney-fied version of those, because there's, like, everybody likes her. She's really good at action. She's really good at solving everything. And not to say that there are no stakes, because there are high stakes as far as, like, her whole village and everything, but she just seems really capable of handling it all. There is one scene pretty early on where she gets pissed off, and there's guys with, like, I'm pretty sure they have guns, and they never shoot at her, and she ends up, like, tackling a bunch of them. And then I was just like, I thought those were soldiers, but it wasn't so important to the plot.
Maybe they were just like, no shooting. It's like that scene from Spaceballs where it's just like, why can't you hit them? Or like, sir, we captured them. If you captured their stunt doubles.
Yeah, but I thought it was a very fun watch. And I think one of the things I did appreciate about it, because kind of like what you said, it feels like a little bit of prototype. They introduced a character that could have been a love interest, but they didn't really force it. So it was refreshing to watch a female character be really cool and make a friend, but not necessarily have to, like, get married afterwards.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, you're cool.
Yeah. But a lot of, so the picture I sent you, they call those the ohms, and they're the big bugs in it, and they're massive. And very much like, the scene in Mickey 17 where you look outside and you're like, wait, it's only creatures. There's a couple scenes in this where they're just stampeding together, and the way that they drew the art, you look left and right and you're like, it's only bugs. There are only bugs. There only have been bugs.
Bugs all the way down.
Yeah, and then they're massive. And the thing that I thought was really fun that they did is their eyes, when they're upset and enraged, are all red. So it's like this big, intimidating, like, it looks like a boss battle in video games. And then as soon as they're calm, it's like a really comfortable hazy blue color. And they're just like, oh, my bad. And then they go about their day. But yeah, the main character, talks a lot about, like, if you don't piss off the bugs, it's fine. Like, just don't piss them off. It's that easy.
Yeah.
And I would say it's a fun watch. I think I wasn't expecting it to be as long as it was as an animated feature. It's a little under 2 hours, or like about 2 hours. But a lot of it, I appreciate the talent of it, because there's a lot of action in it, and it doesn't feel choppy or anything like that for being an animated movie from 1984. But I know you and I have talked about, like, hand-drawn animation kind of just as, like, nice.
Yes. Yeah, I think I've seen bits and bobs of this movie. I think the end, because I remember years ago, Toonami was playing, they had, like, I think, like, a weekend where they were just playing all the Studio Ghibli movies in a row, like the Miyazaki ones.
I sent you
Yes.
how big he is compared to the people running away from him. And those people are riding on the back of, like, chocobos.
Yeah. I would poop my pants. And so yeah, it's when I see pictures like this, I'm like, yeah, I'm not built for giant creature. Like I like giant kaiju-esque creatures in fiction. If they existed in real life,
No.
I'd be dead.
Yeah, and then in the picture I sent you, one of her other really notable things she does is the little kind of like white thing. That's her glider that she flies around on. So, like,
Okay.
she just, like, flies around these bugs and goes, hey, buddy. Oh, and then here's a picture of the bug that I thought was really cool that I said kind of feels like it flies like a Chinese dragon does.
Okay, yeah, I can see how. Yeah, it's like a centipede combined with a dragonfly.
So flat.
They got flattened. Yeah.
Yeah. How much? I think that's all of my yapping time. Right.
You got 2.5 minutes left.
2.5 minutes. I'd recommend this movie, even if it's maybe not my favorite Ghibli. It is very fun. And I like her a lot as a main character, because she gets, well, there are some scenes where her and Bugs are clearly friends, and the Bugs do things, and she goes, yes, Bugs, we can be best friends. And I go, that's a lot of trust. But 'tis the way with nature, I guess.
Yeah, I wish I could be friends with Bugs and be like, can you not come in my apartment? I'm still waiting for the landlord to fix my window.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You don't have luck with windows in your apartments. I remember when you had the hornets sneaking in.
That was my first apartment, yeah. And then that did get fixed when I found out that there was giant gaps between the air conditioner unit and the wall. They didn't seal it correctly.
Oh.
And then
That'll
so
do
I
it.
just put masking tape all around it, and wow, bugs stopped coming in. And then actually, yeah, my second apartment, I don't know how they got in there. Like, I remember there was a couple times when there was like just a full-on bee just flying around my apartment, and I'm like, I have no clue how it got in here. Like, all the windows are closed.
Oh, so apparently Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind is also a manga, and it's
Oh.
based off of that series. Yeah, so it tells the story of Nausicaa, a princess of a small kingdom in a post-apocalyptic Earth with a toxic ecosystem, who becomes involved in a war between kingdoms while an environmental disaster threatens humankind. Yeah. I might look into if I can buy the manga somewhere. It's only 7 volumes, so it's a contained story.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
The more you learn. But yes,
Yeah.
I would recommend thumbs up if you're looking for an animated film. I would say, I don't think this one's necessarily adult. Like Mononoke, I'd say is adult. Spirited Away, I'd say at least a little bit older. I remember being freaked out by Spirited Away when I watched it when I was like 14 and going at some of the different yokai in it. But so I think this one you could watch with someone a little younger, because I think there are moments where there is blood, but it's very much like, it just looks like it trickles. You know, it's not like
Yeah.
splurty.
Not like Mononoke where it's like
Slicing
blood
throats,
is on.
yeah.
Yeah.
All the worms and creatures and yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's, well, your timer is up, so. But no, that's, yeah, I do remember bits and bobs of that movie, and yeah, I don't know. It's funny, like, with this series, that it's just like, I feel like there's like a lot of movies that I feel like I watched, and then the more I learn about it, I'm like, oh, or like the more like we talk and explore, it's like, oh man, I think I've seen a lot of movies, and then I found out, no, I haven't.
There's
I
a lot of
scratched the
movies-
surface.
Yeah, there's a lot of movies to be watching.
Yes. But yeah. Anything else you want to mention before we move on?
Yeah, I think that covers most everything. I know I didn't leave much room for questions. Do you have any questions for me?
I can't think of any at the moment. It's
Okay.
like, I feel like Ghibli movies are a little bit more straightforward than, like, not all of it, but it's just like, hey, here is theme, here
Yeah.
is
Theme.
creature, here
Yeah.
is threat, here is uh-oh.
Here's main character, theme, antagonists, which are
Yeah.
usually people.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right. So, you ready to note down the time for yourself?
Yep.
For your movie?
Mm-hmm. I am writing it down right now. So, yep. So this movie has been on my list for a little while, and it's there is a giant monster in it. And I do like movies where there are giant monsters just going around causing like destruction and all that stuff. But I think the more I look at giant monster movies is that there's I like the human like reaction to it. I think those are like Godzilla -1 is, I think, a modern very good example of a good like kaiju movie kind of stuff, where the style that I like, where it's Godzilla is in there, but it's more like, oh, you care about the humans on the ground. I think Godzilla, I think it was 2016, the American remake. That one I think also does a really good job with it, which I know Japan creators also, they said that was a good one. Not like 1999, but or 1998. I can't remember which one it is. But I didn't watch a Godzilla movie, but there are giant creatures in it. I watched a movie called Colossal.
I don't know if I'm familiar, but go on.
It has Anne Hathaway in it. It has Jason. I don't know how to pronounce those names. Sudeikis.
Comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So essentially, what happens is, we meet Anne Hathaway's character. She comes home and it's like her boyfriend, like they live in New York City and all that stuff, and he's like tired and all that stuff and of her, and she's like, oh, come on, like, what's up? It's just like, and the way it's playing off is just like, oh my goodness, this guy is a jerk. Like, how dare he, like, what did she do? Because it's like, she's like, oh no, I tried to do this, and he's like, no, I'm done. And it's just, as, like, he's leaving, like, he's like, yep, your stuff's all packed up. And it's like, he breaks up with her. All her stuff is packed up. And they broke up. And you're like, oh my goodness, like, because the way it all plays off. And then it cuts outside. It shows him walking, catching a taxi or whatever, and leaving. And then all these people are like, oh, finally he left. And all her friends come in, start drinking, like smoking up and everything, as she's just like gone, mentally just gone. I just got broken up with. Like, I'm being kicked out of the house. Like, me partying and drinking and everything else that she could have potentially have been doing is all cut up to her, and now she is forced to leave New York.
Okay.
To where she moves back home, to her family home. I was like, I can't remember if they say where, but it's in New Hampshire, Mainhead, New Hampshire. And while she's there, like, she kind of falls into like her old friends and family. Well, not family, but her old friends, and like starts pretty much close to repeating the stuff where it's like she's up drinking all night, because her this childhood friend she had pretty much has owns like his father's bar, and he's running it now. And throughout all that, she gets drunk and all this stuff. Her her ex calls and it's just like, hey, is everything okay? Or like they have a conversation and she's just like, no, I can tell you just left the bar, like I can hear it in your voice and all that stuff. And she's like, oh, I can't argue with it because I have been.
Mm-hmm.
To where she's this whole time she's like, she bought an air mattress, she's like kind of just carrying it over her back and everything. She gets home and goes to sleep, wakes up, and her like phone's blowing up and everything. Like, what's going on? It's like a monster just appeared in Seoul. Seoul, South Korea. And she's like, what the heck? And like that's when she's calling other people like, wait, what's going on? And pretty much she's like looking at it, and like the monster is like, people are like, the monster's doing weird things. Like, it's not like, even if you're that big, it's not looking down. It looks like it's carrying something. She's like, what? And then there's another part where she gets into an argument. Like, she's walking home the same way, gets into an argument with her ex on the phone, and it's pretty animated, and she's all frustrated. And then like she wakes up again, like lost concept of time, and the person who's working at the bar brings a TV by and is like, hey, you said you wanted this. And it's like, I did. Like, she has no memory of all this. And like they turn it on and it's like showing the monster appeared again, and she's like looking at it and she's realizing the monster is mimicking what she's doing. And Anne Hathaway's character learns that she is like psychically connected to this monster. And so to the point where they find out it's locked to this one place that is a playground, locked into this playground place, so that because that was on her way home, and anytime she walked through the playground, that at a certain time, that is when the monster appeared at the same time. And so she learns about this and she's like, oh my goodness, what the heck's going on? To the point where she's like, well, I gotta tell people. And so she tells her friends, and it's just like, hey, bring up the live stream. And at this point she's like studying maps, and she's like, okay, this is where I can stand where I'm not going to cause problems. And she stands in there, and there's like, okay, you can see it. And that's when they find out, like, she's moving, she's dancing, doing all the different things. And then like the people in Korea don't know what's going on, so they start shooting at her. And then they like, whatever the monster, the kaiju's feeling, she feels. And pretty much it progresses where they find out there's one, like, her childhood friend also has a monster that appears, because like she goes to trip and he goes to help her, and that's when they find out another monster appears in there. And from there, the real personalities come out, where she's struggling with her alcoholism, and she's really fighting to push that, while her colleague, her friend, who also becomes her boss because he offers a job, it's like, at first, like, oh man, he's kind of being a nice guy, and it's like, no, he's being like manipulative and abusive and like trying to control things. And then there's like other things that she's like realizing, okay, my ex also isn't a good person. So it's just like to the point where she's like, no, we shouldn't even be doing this, and she's just well enough to leave it alone. But he's like, no, I'm finally getting the attention and everything that I want, and if you don't go there, like, if you don't keep giving the show, I'm going to destroy Korea. And like, I'm just going to go through, destroy the playground and all that stuff, unless you keep coming here, working at the, like, pretty much being part of my life and doing what I want. And so it's that's pretty much the second half of the movie. And the first half, it's very much like, oh man, this is like, as she's trying to figure it out, it's like this puzzle, because it's like, in the trailer it tells you that Anne Hathaway and the monster are linked. Like, it's
okay.
they kind of tell you this. It's, you know it, but it's like in the first half of the movie, it's like her trying to figure it out and put it together, and like just like, oh man, what's happening? It's just like, oh, what can we do? And there's like a whole point where when she realizes what's happening, they just so happen to have a Korean takeout restaurant, and the older couple are from Korea, and so they ask them to write out a message. And so like she's like studying the maps and kind of learns where everything is in the playground, to where she goes to the beach and then writes in Korean like, I'm sorry, I didn't know, it won't happen again. Because she's like, no, it's like, didn't mean,
as long as I have control of it, it's not.
Yeah. And then it's like the ego and of this person, of essentially someone who wanted more in life, but was, whether they never made any effort or settled and all that stuff, to now like feeling that power that they have. And it's just like the conflict between the two of them, and like how all this is just like ruining friendships and all that stuff all around. We're like, hey, everyone seemed it was okay, but someone got a taste of power, and then it's just like, no, you guys are nothing to me now. So and then there's like a whole part where it's just like it explains why Anne Hathaway and Jason Sudeikis' character have this ability, but it's like it's all told in flashbacks, because at first it's just like, why? And then as the movie goes forward, it tells you, and then you get the whole picture, and it's like, oh, okay. So but yeah, it's a shorter movie. It's as much, it is focused way more on the human side of it, like where we see the monsters there and like their conflict, but it's also mimicking the conflict like of, well, it is these two characters fighting in the playground. Well, one of them is it's really funny because it's like the adults are like, it's two adults constantly going to this playground, and I'm like, no one's called the cops. So, but yeah, it's so
it sounds more like a movie like with relationships focused rather than monster focused.
Yeah, but the monsters, like they are there. It's like where is it? Yeah. So when Anne Hathaway signed up to it, it was pitched as Godzilla meets Lost in Translation, which I don't think I watched that movie.
Yeah. Lost in Translation's a title I think I've heard before.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds famous.
Yeah, it's Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson. I think I remember where Bill Murray, he is like stuck in Tokyo. Let's see, I'm looking right here. Yeah, I don't know. I heard good things about it, but it's just like it's like these two people, like they're stuck in Tokyo for a bit, and they both have their own marital problems, and they kind of just meet up, and I don't know the whole thing, but it sounds like they explore Tokyo together, like throughout that night, and have heartfelt conversations. And I don't know the most of it, so, but I've heard good things about it. But
yeah, it seems rated well.
So
cool. So yeah. Does it meet your criteria as like a monster movie you'd recommend to people looking for monster movies?
Because
it sounds pretty different.
Yes, it does have monster. Like, I think if you enjoy like people up front and in the action of running away from giant monster, probably not, because there is some of that, but it's
not an action movie, is what you mean. Like.
Yeah, there is, like, there's action in it, But it's like very much like if they took the monsters out of this could have been very much like a it could have been, the movie still could have been told without the monsters. It just makes it more fantastical and makes the stakes higher.
Okay.
But it is very much like, yeah, a relationship of two people where someone was just trying to get away, and then like they didn't need the monsters for someone to turn abusive and have power over another.
It is just like a fun magical realism look
Yeah.
at like if it's something so big, what do you do with it?
Yeah. Because
Alright,
like
that's
it's
neat.
yeah, because it's I still think it's a good movie. But if you want like a Godzilla style kaiju movie, then no, like Colossal wouldn't hit that itch, because like we see the destruction, we see the like the sanity effects that it's having on two different characters as they both react to this destruction that they know they are doing, whether on purpose or by accident. Like
It sounds like physical manifestations of like their behaviors, because you said the one
Yes.
girl, she drinks to numb a lot and doesn't remember everything the next day and
Yeah.
things like that. Okay.
Yeah, because it's like at first it's like, okay, is she? Because there's it's kind of a little bit in spoiler town territory, but there's a point where she's so worried about it she stops drinking. But it's like, okay, are you stopping drinking because of the monster that you're accidentally or can summon? You want to have like you're trying to heal that relationship with your ex and you want to get back with him. Like, what is the real reason for it? Or are you just like genuinely concerned about like what is happening and all this stuff? And so are you like actually trying to do that? And so and all that. But then there's the other question, is like, is it really the alcohol, or is it this mental link that you're having with this creature that's affecting memory?
Mm-hmm.
So, because there's other things that, like, especially with the flashbacks, that it seems like there's some memory, like, affecting stuff that's happening. So yeah, it's but yeah, I still think it's a good movie. Like, I will say, hey, there's alcoholism. I don't think the abuse gets there is violence, like towards men, towards women, like in there's definitely fighting and all that stuff, and there's definitely like against Anne Hathaway's character, definitely like mental and abusively controlling behavior. It doesn't go like to the realm of like sexual side of it, but it is very much like physical
And a lot of emotional stuff too, because you said
yes.
there's manipulation and
Yeah.
So
be aware of that, and that as some of the warnings. But I still think it's a pretty decent movie. Just like I would say, don't go in expecting like a Godzilla or the Host or something like that, because it's not like, from Korea's standpoint, it is like this movie could be told from Korea's standpoint, and all the same events. Like, it would be a really interesting thing of having the two things back to back, because it's like we have this and we know what's happening, but then have it from Korea's standpoint, because like the monsters are only there for like, I think at most like 5 to 10 minutes at a time.
And they're like
And then
arguing on phone calls or
Yeah.
yeah.
And then it's like they just disappear into the mist. Like, but they, at the same time, they only appear when they step into this playground.
I think that'd be more scary to me than, say, like Godzilla, because you're just minding your business and like poof, it's there, and you're like,
Yeah.
well, what's the pattern? But on that side of the world, you can't predict the pattern. Whereas,
Yeah.
like, I feel like in Godzilla films, you at least you get the rumbling, you see the waves, you see him kind of emerge from the beach, and you're like, even though, depending on which depiction it is, you probably won't be able to run away, you're at least like, oh, there he is.
Yeah.
I see him coming up on the shoreline.
Yeah. And so it is definitely one of the, because that's something like because you get like snippets of news reports and of them talking about this, like, hey, we have no clue about anything with this creature. Like, we don't know why it shows up in certain spots, why it doesn't, and why there's like certain behaviors. Because there's like parts where she's arguing with Jason's character, but Jason hasn't stepped into the playground. And then it's like so they show, because they'll be watching it on their like phones or something, like the live stream, and then it's like you just see her character like animating how she is, because she's stepped into the playground, like, don't step any further. And it's just over there, they just see her like yelling, and like her monster yelling into the void, and everyone's like, what is going on? And then it's just like he forces himself onto the playground, and then his creature's a giant robot. And so it's like the robot appears, so they're just like, everyone's like, oh my goodness. And so yeah, so they do talk about that, and where it's just like, oh, we don't know and everything, and but my time is up. And
so you say you'd recommend it to people that like relationship forward movies.
Yeah. It's also on Tubi right now.
Just a little bit of ads, right?
Yeah. I think the ads were spaced pretty well. Like, it wasn't like in the middle of a scene. I think Tubi's gotten pretty good at that. Like, where it's like, okay, here's an ad, but it's like it's during a scene change, not while.
Not in the middle of a
it's like
line.
And I say, hey, buy toilet paper.
All right. Anything else you want to add before I spin the wheel?
No. I think everyone should watch both of these movies.
Movie recommendations. Yippee. Okay. So, where's my OBS? There's my OBS. All right. So I am going to start recording it now. And I will spin the wheel.
Alrighty.
It's been so fast on my end of the screen. Okay. So the prompt for this coming week, this should be an interesting one. Adapted from a video game.
Okay. This is when we both just quickly, like, movies adapted from
immediately start
video
looking them up.
game. Because, like, in my mind, I'm like, hey, if I can get something now to watch, because I ain't going anywhere tomorrow. IMDb, all movies based off of video games.
I feel like a lot of them are going to be like the Resident Evils.
Oh yeah.
Silent Hill.
Oh shoot!
Those
I watched all that.
Uncharted got turned into a movie.
True. If I didn't watch this
Raider.
already, I would definitely watch the 1993 Super Mario Brothers.
Oh goodness, yeah.
Oh wait, I haven't seen this one. Let's see. It's got a Metacritic.
Send me the list.
Sorry.
Sorry. This is just me saying that as I'm also trying to look for where I save my wheel spins for you. This is today's.
Oh man, there's so many on here I would watch, but it's just.
Oh yeah, there's the new Minecraft movie. There's a new Mario movie.
Yeah, actually, this is a little bit easier now to think about it, because there's so much more.
Yeah, 10 years ago would have been a lot harder. There's Mortal Kombat movies.
Yeah, I was like, I watched that one already. I watched both of them.
Yeah. I do love both of them. I think I watched both of them kind of back to back. I do like the old, what's his name? Is it Goro? Where they had the arm puppets.
Yeah.
For his forearms.
They made a Blood Rain movie? I forgot about that. Here's the great thing about video game adapted movies. All of them so far, for the most part, on this IMDb list are pretty much, the majority of them are 30 and lower. And I'm like,
oh my goodness, I do not want to watch the Final Fantasy movie.
I've already watched it.
There's a House of the Dead movie with a terrible rating.
Yeah,
I love playing House of the Dead in arcades.
I also saw that, and I'm like, maybe, because I know I haven't watched that. Like, there's Doom, which I know I watched. Hitman, I owned at one point.
Oh, sorry. I forgot about the Prince of Persia movie where they cast a white guy.
Oh, yeah, I watched that too. I owned that one.
Why have you watched so many of these?
A lot of these came out when I was watching movies.
You should watch the Angry Birds movie.
The Angry Birds? I think I know which movie I'm going to watch. I need to find out. Hopefully I can. I forgot they made a Ratchet and Clank movie.
I did not know that they did.
I do remember the Warcraft movie. Oh, the Assassin's Creed. Oh my god. Yeah, so there's a lot of options. Oh man, I should watch Sonic the Hedgehog just due to my background.
And I was gonna say, I do know people like Jim Carrey is in it. He's a good actor.
Yeah, from what I heard about it, I don't know why it has a 47 Metascore, but I don't know how the Metascore actually works. So, I heard good things about it. Oh man, hold up. Let's see where to go. I think I may have found my movie right now. Let's see. This will determine if I can watch it for free.
The list isn't the most up to date because it doesn't have the new Mario movie or the Minecraft movie in it.
I can't watch it for free, but it might be worth renting. Well, let me take that back. I don't know if it's worth renting, but I will.
Oh, there's the Five Nights at Freddy's movies, too.
Oh, yeah. Well, everyone, you know what the rest of this conversation is going to be like. So come back next week as we do video game adapted movies, as I try to find the spreadsheet. We find out what die we roll and what rule gets advantage. So thank you, everyone, for watching and listening. By the time this comes out, the Great Ice Mageddon thing of 2026 will possibly be over, or it never ended. But hope you all survived if you're in the way. So until next time.